Welcome back, everyone, to Week 10 of the Wild West.
Hey, what's up? It's your Buckeye Believing Who Dey Hopeful, Chris with a K.
And it's your boy Tristan.
It's your boy Kyle.
Travis.
And this is your host, Carlos. You guys, we are in Week 10. We're going to discuss about, congratulations to the Houston Astros for winning the World Series. We'll discuss a little bit about that at Chuck's Dugout. Also, College Game Day of the Week. We also have the Week 10 picks, the DDK Fantasy Football lineup, Driz and Lowe's Players of the Week, and our favorite show, Who's Hot and Who's Not. All right, let's take a quick pause and thank our following sponsors.
Hey guys, it's your pal Chris with a K. And do phrases like 1040, W4, 1099, AGI, or Schedule B send chills down your back like they do to me? Well, contact our friend Teresa over at TV's Tax Service. She's got all the know-how to help you with your taxes. Go see her at 12605 East Lincoln Court, 67207 Wichita, Kansas, or give her a call at 316-618-8866.
All right, congratulations to the Houston Astros of the city of Houston, the state of Texas, and all the fans of the Astros for capturing their second World Series. Kyle, give me a quick breakdown. What did you think of the World Series?
I feel like it really got away from Philly after getting no hit. That I think that just broke them. It never the magic from Phillies fans that it felt like they'd had all postseason went away. After getting no hit, it felt like that's when the well-oiled machine of the Astros took over. Schwarber gave him a chance there in Game 6, and no one else could come up with anything. And Yordan Alvarez did what Yordan Alvarez does and crushed every Philadelphia Phillies fan's hope. Real happy for Dusty Baker. The most winningest manager without a World Series finally has one. Real happy for Trey Mancini. 2 years ago, he was battling with late stages of cancer, and he beat it, came back to baseball, and now he's a World Series champion. So there's positive things if you aren't an Astros fan to look at this for them. But Astros are just a better team.
Like I said, man, love Houston. I'm glad they got their second win, bro, repping Texas.
Yeah, I mean, good for them. That wasn't it wasn't the way I was hoping it'd go, but what can you do?
Yeah, I was hoping for a Philly win, but good job, Astros.
Got to hand it to him, especially Dusty Baker, and congratulations, Chuck. I mean, that's his team, the Houston Astros. So I'm happy for you, man. Finally, you got one in. I've been giving him such a hard time, and now he's sitting back like, hey, now we got one. So congratulations. All right, let's go ahead and move on over to the College Game Day of the Week. We have the battle in Texas. We have the Texas Longhorns going against Texas Christian University. They're right now ranked number 4, I believe, going against the number 18. All right, Chris, quick breakdown. Who do you think is going to win?
TCU's been looking really good, and they've been chomping at the bit. They got ranked this week to be in the CFP if things were to end today. I think they're third or fourth, yeah. And so I think they're really looking to put it down on Texas, and it's kind of the little brother, big brother mentality, I think, going on there. So they're going to look to overcome the big brother that gets all the attention and really show some grit. So I've got TCU taking this one for sure.
Oh, yeah, I got TCU taking this one as well, man. I really hope they win, and I see them making the playoffs this year. That would be very nice to see, repping the Big 12 in the playoffs.
I mean, I'm going to take TCU. It should be noted, Texas is 7-point favorites at home over undefeated TCU, which is shocking to me.
Well, you got a lot of Texas fans that are going to be a lot more Texas fans that are betting crazy money on Texas as opposed to just smart bettors. But
gosh, I mean, TCU is such a good team, and they have to win this game. Big 12 teams do not make the playoffs with one loss.
No, they've got to win out.
So I'm rooting for TCU to win this game. I think they will.
Yeah, I'm also going to go for TCU. I feel like they're the overall better team. Yeah.
What can I say? I'm a Longhorns fan. We know that. But facts are facts. TCU beaten Tristan's team, Oklahoma. I mean, they've beaten caliber teams. I'm not going to necessarily say this is a true test, but going into a hostile area, and yes, you're right, Chris, Texas is one of the teams, the colleges that reaps all the benefits. Mm-hmm. And this is one of the reasons why Texas is, I'm not going to use the word hate, but very disliked. because of the simple fact
rest
that
of
when
it.
it comes to the politics and the money, no offense to the University of Texas, but you
Kinda
guys
had
kind of
rest of
take
the-
over. Yeah, you guys kind of take over. And then Oklahoma's right under there. But anyways, I'm just saying. TCU, this is for you guys. I'm going for TCU.
Let's do it.
Go
guys.
Horned Frogs.
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right, so let's go ahead and take a quick pause and thank our following sponsors.
Hey guys, it's your old pal Chris with a K here, giving a shout out to some of those unsung heroes in the entertainment industry, DJs. And we've got a great one for you. Spin It Again Entertainment, doing weddings, anniversaries, birthdays, music events, photo booths with backdrops and dancing on the clouds. Check them out at Linktree Spin It Again Entertainment. Their phone number 316-617-3281. That's Spin It Again Entertainment. Check them out for all your entertainment needs.
We are in week 10, you guys. We're going to dive in here, starting off with the Thursday night game. We have the Atlanta Falcons visiting the Carolina Panthers. Travis, who you taking?
I'm going to go with Atlanta here. They won the first outing against the Panthers home. Patterson's back, but he's been a little rusty, but I'm still taking Atlanta here.
I'll take Atlanta, too. They were one throw away, one deep ball away to Kyle Pitts away from putting the nail in the coffin against the Chargers, and the Panthers just got demoralized. Now there's a quarterback controversy with how Baker played, and so
Underdog.
Yeah,
You have the spread.
yeah, it's 2.5 for the Panthers, so the line's a little bit more favorable to the Falcons by a field goal. I'll take the Falcons, though. They're just a better team.
Yeah, the Falcons really picked it up the past couple weeks. I think they've been looking really good. Should have won last week. Too bad they didn't. But what can you do? But, yeah, they're looking really good, and I got them beating Carolina this week.
I don't know. Missed extra point, and they would have won that first game. I mean, it was a crazy play, but it was a play that was made. And Baker came out and looked pretty good, and PJ was looking bad against Cincinnati last week, to my pleasure as a Cincinnati fan. But with Baker coming back, I think that he's probably going to be the starter now going forward. I think that they've got some. I mean, anytime a team really gets whooped on like that, they show up the next week, and they play the Falcons well in division. So home game, I'm going to go with the Panthers.
This is a real critical game, and here's the thing. Carolina's going to show off their new alternative helmet tomorrow, so they're going to wear the jet black. So shout out to Andrew Pauly and my niece. They are big Panther fans. And you know what? I'm going to go for the home team. I'll take Carolina. I'm going to take a dice on this one. But now here's the deal. DJ Moore, we need you, buddy. And then right now with the running back committee, we have Hubbard and
Foreman.
Foreman get the big yards and have Hubbard kind of on the play action and things like that. So, all right, I'm taking Carolina. I'm with you, Chris. All right, let's go ahead and move on over to the game in Germany. We have the hot streak in Seattle Seahawks against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tristan, who you taking?
I'm going to take Seattle on this one. Tampa Bay, they had a nice last-minute drive. They really got it together then, but they did not look good last week. There were so many drop passes by Mike Evans and the receivers, and it's just they aren't in sync. Leonard Fournette hasn't been able to get the run game going. He gets a lot of his work from the pass, and they have been looking good. They beat a bad Rams team right now, and Seattle's been hot. I'm sticking with Seattle this week.
I'm going to take Seattle, too. The Bucs are 3-point favorites in Germany.
Wow.
I don't think the Bucs have looked very good. It was an impressive last drive, don't get me wrong. But they also beat a Rams team that hasn't looked really good either. So there's some things, I don't know really what you can draw from that, but I do know that Geno and the Seahawks look really good. So I'll take them on the road.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Seahawks. Tampa Bay's line just isn't doing anything. They have so many issues there with Ryan Jensen being injured. But, yeah, I'm going Seattle.
I am as well, guys. I think Seattle's just getting more and more confident. Geno's getting more and more confident. Pete Carroll's really doing a great job coaching this year. And so I've got Seattle as well. I think that, like Kyle was saying, Bucs winning last week, it was a great last drive. But the fact that they were even in that game just shows you how bad the Rams have been playing. So I've got Seattle.
Seattle's on a hot streak right now, especially with their run game. Defensively, they're getting pressured to the quarterback, and we're in the horizon. We know that they're going to play Kansas City. So I did look at the schedule. Kansas City's probably going to be their biggest game this year besides San Francisco. But I'm going to take Seattle because I think Giselle is probably going to be out there with her family out there in Germany. She'll probably rep some Seahawks jersey. Oh, poor Tom Brady. But, yeah, I'll take Seattle. All right, next up, we have an NFC North Division showdown. We have the Detroit Lions against the Chicago Bears. Tristan, who you take?
I'm taking Chicago on this one. Detroit, their defense is still struggling, and DeAndre Swift he's still dealing with that injury. So Chicago's really picking it up. They had that great game against Miami last week, and Fields has finally figured out how, I guess, establish that run game with him, be that dual threat. Like they still don't get much passing yards, but man, he can run, and I love seeing it. So I'm going Chicago.
I'll take Chicago too. 3-point favorites on the road against Detroit. Detroit, the defensive numbers are a little bit inflated with the interceptions there. A lot of those interceptions were receivers not being where they probably should have been for Rodgers. Not to take that away from them, you still got to catch the ball to get the interception. But the Bears' offense finally starts to look like Eberflus, and the guys are finally starting to figure out exactly how to utilize Justin Fields to the best of his strengths right now as he develops as a passer. So I believe in the Bears to win this game.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Bears. The Bears had a controversial ending against Miami. Could have been a PI for Claypool, but they didn't call it. Lions, they did show up, finally beat Green Bay. Aiden Hutchinson had an interception, but I'm still going Chicago.
Yeah, I was kind of leaning with the Lions at first because, they've got some big offensive numbers. And the Bears have had some weaknesses in their secondary as well. I guess everyone does against Miami. And the big win over Green Bay that the Lions had last week. But I think that's going to be a little bit of that big high, coming off a big high and dipping down after that. So I'm going to go with the Bears. They're looking to really keep up with the division. So I'm going Bears.
I'm going to take the Bears as well. Usually I root for the Lions, but it's just that Justin Fields is finally getting a rhythm, and he's starting to become dangerous. And the thing is like when they were showing the NFL Network when they would do the rerun on the games, and I was watching Justin Fields. The guy takes command of the field, and he's coming from Ohio State. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Buckeye.
Yep.
Yeah, he just needs a little bit more help on the line. And hey, watch out! This guy's going to be a force to be reckoned with. All right, next up we have the Cleveland Browns against the Miami Dolphins. Who are you taking, Chris?
This is actually, I think, going to be a tougher game than a lot of people think. The Browns coming off of a rest week, probably getting some of their players back. I think Njoku's coming back this week as well. He's been out for a little while. I'm not sure if they've said exactly if he's probably questionable or something like that. Yeah,
he's just questionable right now.
So maybe not. Either way, rested team. Nick Chubb is just a beast, and with Hunt as the second back, I don't like to say it. No, I'm just going to stick with my initial gut. I'm going to go with the Fins. Man, that offense, Waddle and Hill with Tua passing it, as long as he stays healthy, they're pretty unstoppable, as their record would state when he's healthy. So I'm going to go Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm going to go Dolphins too. They struggled in the run game last week, we could tell, with Fields and everything. But besides that, I feel like even if they have a bad defense or the defense isn't getting it together, they have a high caliber offense, and they're going to put up points. They're going to get yards. I think that's really what's going to keep them in the game. So I'm going Miami.
So the spread's 3.5 favorites for the Dolphins, which would favor Browns bettors at this juncture. I think it's going to be a really close game. The Browns, the way that they win is ball control time of possession kind of stuff, and that's going to hinder the offensive explosion of the Dolphins. They're going to have to hit the big plays. Like, they're going to have to utilize their drives. They're not going to be able to count on getting as many possessions as they normally do. But I'm still going to take the Dolphins because that offense is just so high-powered and prolific through the air.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Dolphins. I mean, Tua's playing amazing, but, I mean, how can you not when you have Tyreek, Jalen Waddle, and Mike Gesicki to throw to? And then, the Browns are up and down, but I'm still going Miami.
Yeah, Miami's got everything going for themselves, and the thing is that game against the Bears last week, they can score at will. And the thing is that you've got to catch a break. If Cleveland's going to make any type of a dent in that offense, they're going to have to get to Tua, get him disrupted. Because if you give him the progressions that he needs, they're just going to light it up. And so I'm going to take the Fins as well. Let's go ahead and move on over to my team, the Denver Broncos, going against the Tennessee Titans. Who are you taking, Tristan?
I'm going to go with Tennessee. We saw last week they put up a very, very good fight against my team and the Chiefs. And, as long as they got Derrick Henry in the backfield, I think that's all they need. So I'm going with Tennessee this week.
Titans are 2.5-point favorites, which would favor their betters. I just think the Titans' run game is too powerful. I don't really know if they need to pass the ball to be successful when you have a running back like Derrick Henry. I think if the Broncos can convert a little bit more in the red zone and get down there, they have a chance. I wouldn't count them out of this game, but I'm going to take the Titans.
Yeah, I'm going with Titans also. Ryan Tannehill's still questionable, but Derrick Henry's been playing amazing. Tennessee's defense showed up last week, but they didn't get the job done. They had multiple sacks, I believe 3 or 4. But yeah, I'm going Tennessee.
I'm going to mix it up here. I'm actually going to go with the Broncos. I think coming off of a week of rest. I know. I've got some. Titans had.
I just had a muscle twitch. My eye just like what?
I think the Titans had a really tough game, overtime, Sunday night game. So rest is a big thing in the NFL. Fresh legs is a big deal, and Henry's been running it a lot the last few weeks, a lot. And yeah, he's a stud, man, and he's probably going to get his yards. But I think that Russell's starting to maybe settle in with whatever. They're working some things out. He looked a lot better the week before their bye, and so I'm going to go with the Broncos. They do have a great defense, so I think they can subdue Henry a little bit. He's still going to get his yards. He's probably going to get a touchdown or two, but I think that they're going to be able to keep up and even win this one out.
Oh, the moment of the truth here. After what he said, maybe now really made me really think here. Here's the thing. Tennessee's front line gave Patrick Mahomes a little bit of a hard time, but their fortune ran out. The thing is with Russell, they're starting to pick it up. That win against Jacksonville really helped them gain back a little bit of their confidence. But we're going against a team now that they're a heavy-based run team. And they did exactly what we said last week on the show, what they were going to do to Kansas City, run the ball. But now this is something different. Now you got Russell Wilson coming into town. So I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to go ahead and take Tennessee. I just feel that Tennessee is going to try to beat Denver by just wear and tear on the defense because their wide receivers aren't that good. I mean, Robert Woods has not been really relevant. So I know probably Patrick Surtain's going to lock down on Robert, and so they're just going to focus on the run. All right, so let's go ahead and move on over. We have the Houston Texans against the G-Men, the New York Jets. The Giants. Boy, I'll take an L for that one. Travis, who are you taking?
I'm taking Giants. I feel like this is an obvious one. Texans last week lost to Philly, like usual. Giants came off their bye week. I feel like Daniel Jones is rested. He's going to have a solid week this week.
I'm going to take the Giants, too. They're 5-point favorites. I think the Texans played Philly a lot closer than a lot of people thought that they would, so they should get credit for that. And they're going to be playing a team that has a similar style of offense, maybe not as prolific passing the ball, but running-wise, it's going to be very similar. So I think it's going to be a close-ish game, maybe a touchdown, 10 points, but I think the Giants are going to win.
Yeah, I'm definitely going with the Giants. I think a much better defense, much better offense. They're just a better team overall, so Giants.
Same as these guys are saying. I'm going Giants.
Taking the Giants. I think their defense is going to lock down the wide receivers. Is Cooks going to play? Even if Cooks is going to play, they're going to lock him up. So we don't know. So, we'll take the Giants. All right, next up we have the Jacksonville Jaguars going to
Chiefs Kingdom, baby.
All right, going to visit the Kansas City Chiefs. Well, go ahead.
It's obvious. To me, it's going to be the Chiefs. They're an elite offense. Their defense is it's there. I feel like it's above average, but this is Jacksonville. They haven't been too hot this year, and I think we have no problem with our offense.
It's a 9.5-point spread, Chiefs favorites, and that's
big.
That's big. And the Jaguars, their offense has the potential to be really explosive. ETN has been playing a lot better. It's been real consistent lately. It all really depends on what you're going to get out of Trevor Lawrence. I mean, you can count on what you're going to get from the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. The Jaguars are the question mark here, but at some point it just comes down to your head coach and the talent on the field, and the Chiefs have both of the advantages there.
Sure. And I do like Doug Peterson. He knows Andy Reid quite well, came out of his system. So I think he might have some wrinkles for him. I think it's going to be a closer game, that 9.5 points. But I don't see the Jaguars keeping up with the Chiefs. They're just looking too smooth. Coming off a bye week, I think Andy Reid's probably like 20 and 2 or something like that. Ridiculous.
Yeah, 20 and 3.
Yeah. so coming off a bye week, for sure, the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with Chiefs. Jacksonville, I mean, they might have a chance, but probably not. Jags did have a big comeback win over the Raiders, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I'm just going to take Kansas City. There's not much to say. You guys pretty much wrapped that up. All right, next up we have the New Orleans Saints going against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Who are you taking, Travis?
I'm going to go Saints here. Pittsburgh did come off their bye week, but Pickett is still learning. He hasn't been playing to his full potential, I feel like. But, yeah.
1.5 point favorites are the Saints, so it's pretty much a pick 'em. I think as long as Matt Canada is the offensive coordinator, the Steelers' offense will look like a stick in the mud. And Najee Harris has been rather underwhelming this year for you fantasy owners. So give me the Saints with that offense and Andy Dalton. I think they're going to win.
Oh, yeah, I'm choosing the Saints as well, man. I feel like just offensively they have better weapons. They look a lot better than Pittsburgh this year. Pittsburgh's just a dumpster fire. Give me the Saints.
Yeah, I think they're looking to bounce back after that Ravens loss, and Dalton does know the Steelers' defensive ways pretty well. So I think they're going to go in and take care of business against the Steelers and keep fighting for that NFC South.
I'm going to go ahead and take the Saints as well. I mean, that game against Baltimore proved that they played against a superior team, and Alvin Kamara didn't do much, Olave didn't do much, and the problem is that they have the weapons, they have the talent, and they just weren't getting utilized. So hopefully Andy Dalton will get his big break here. So, yeah, we'll take the Saints. Next up, we have the Indianapolis Colts against the Las Vegas Raiders. Who are you taking, Kyle?
Well, congratulations to Jeff Saturday. That was a real Jim Irsay move if I've ever seen one. Not very often do you see an interim coach get named that's not already on the staff.
Or ever coached.
Yeah. He's an ESPN analyst that just got – he's never coached higher than high school.
He's a world champion. World champion offensive center and played with some of the greats, Peyton Manning being the main one. But, yeah, he's never coached in any college or NFL capacity.
Bear with me here. Raiders 6-point favorites, and I'm going to take the Colts.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Colts. Sam Ehlinger has looked really good. Like, he's making reads. He's doing good NFL quarterback things. Sometimes when a team names an interim head coach, it goes one of two ways. They either get beat really, really bad, or they win a game that no one thinks they have any business winning, and I don't think they have any business winning it, but I think they're going to win it.
I'm going to take the Raiders here. I feel like this is Josh McDaniels' last straw of being a head coach this year. I mean, he's lost so many big games, big leads, led by 17-plus points 3 times this season, and they've given up those. So I'm going with Raiders here.
And I'm going with Raiders because of what you said. Three times this season already they've given up 17-point leads, and, Jonathan Taylor should be back. I can't trust the Raiders with how they've been playing, with how they've looked, man. They've looked terrible, so I'm going with the Colts.
Oh, I'm going with the Colts myself for those same reasons. I don't think Josh McDaniels is a good head coach at all. I just don't think. I mean, just like I didn't think Urban Meyer was a good head coach. Like, he should have never been a head coach. Josh McDaniels, I thought, showed in his Denver days that he's. I mean, I guess you give a guy a second chance, but when he screwed Indianapolis. When he went in there and said, "Oh, I'll take it," and then backed out at the last minute a few years ago. I mean, he's just not a good guy, I think. So I don't think he's a good coach. I'm going for the Colts just to see it happen. I want it to so bad.
This game here is going to reflect a lot on coaching and locking down and minimizing mistakes. Of course, the Raiders they've got a better offensive power than the Colts. But again, that's the scary part, that they cannot hold on to the lead. But their fortune will probably turn around. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Raiders on this one. Next up, we have America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, going against the Green Bay Packers. Tristan, who are you taking?
I'm taking Dallas, and I think it's clear because Green Bay has not looked good this season. Dallas has one of the top defenses in the league, which is all they need to stop Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I'm going to take Dallas too. Packers 4.5-point underdogs at home. I'm surprised that spread's not a little bit bigger, but if your receivers didn't know where to go against Detroit, Good luck against that Dallas secondary with Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence breathing down your neck, Aaron.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Cowboys. Aaron Rodgers still isn't the same, playing terrible this year. Still, right now, he's questionable for his thumb, which he's had issues with for the last couple weeks. But, yeah, I'm going to go Dallas.
I'm curious what the over-under is on Trayvon Diggs' interceptions this week. I'm going Dallas.
This is Mike McCarthy's homecoming, so that he's gonna. I hope that he stands with the elevated because they're the ones that got rid of him. Technically, Aaron Rodgers. I still blame Aaron Rodgers.
I'm
I
sure
blame
Mike
Aaron
McCarthy
Rodgers.
remembers everybody that got rid of him.
So pretty much, this is going to be Dallas is going in. Dallas is going to have a good statement game there. So I'm taking Dallas. All right, next up we have an NFC West showdown: the Arizona Cardinals against the Los Angeles Rams. Kristen, who are you taking?
I'm going to take Arizona. I feel like they put up a good divisional fight till the very end. They sort of lost foot there. But, D-Hop's been looking great. Wander Moore, give him credit. I thought he wasn't going to do anything this game. He did good against Seattle. That offense is picking it up. And the Rams, simply because that offensive line cannot protect Matthew Stafford, man, it's looking terrible for them. So I'm going with Arizona.
They also can't block for a running back either.
Yeah.
So for the same reasons Tristan's saying, I'm going with Arizona on this one. I think they're going to pull this one out.
I'm going to take Arizona too. Rams are 1.5-point favorites. It's a pick. Let's be honest here. The Cards feel like they're due. They've been playing some good football lately. They've just been beat by some better teams in certain situations. Blocking doesn't seem to be on the minds of the offensive linemen in Los Angeles for the Rams. So give me the Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Cardinals. Rams' O-line is not doing well at all this year. Dealing with some injuries. And Stafford's in concussion protocol now, so as of today. So I'm going to go with Cardinals.
I'm going to take the Cardinals as well. Arizona, they need this win. They need a win to kind of stay afloat in the because I still think they can give Seattle a hard time, and so that they could see each other. If Arizona ends up capitalizing a little bit more wins, then they can make it into the playoffs. But that's a little far from fetch. But I'm going to take Arizona. Next up, we have Travis's team, the Los Angeles Chargers. Go Bolts. This guy, I had to do it for him. Come on, man. Come on. They don't pay me
They've
for
been
that.
disappointed this year. He doesn't
All
want to do it.
Well, it's kind of like his season. That's how it's reflected. Going against the San Francisco 49ers. Travis, who are you taking and why?
Obviously, I got to take my Chargers here. Herbert's playing amazing with backup receivers right now. Joshua Palmer, second-year receiver at Tennessee. He had an awesome week last week. 8 catches, 100 yards, and a touchdown. But, yeah, I got to go with my Chargers.
I'm going to take the 49ers. They looked really good against a probably bad Rams team. I think I'm confident in saying that now. The Chargers have looked a lot better with some players that they're missing, but they didn't look as explosive against a Falcons defense that I think isn't really good. And the Christian McCaffrey is going to give that Chargers defense a nightmare. So give me 49ers.
Give me the 49ers. Los Angeles has been disappointing this year for me, man. Both Los Angeles teams. Well, thank goodness for us, for the Chiefs. But, San Francisco with that Christian McCaffrey pickup, they got an elite offense now. I feel like George Kittle and Christian McCaffrey are going to have a big game this week. So give me San Francisco.
How's Chargers on their health-wise? I know the receivers are a bit banged up, but how's the defensive line?
Defense, Boza's still injured. He might be back next week.
Okay. That's really what I was hoping for, that he'd be back this week. Because I don't want to pick him, but I'm going to pick the 49ers because they're just going to be better.
He said, you guys can't even stop the run. You guys are terrible. And the thing is that Christian McCaffrey's just going to go out there, have a scrimmage out there. And then also, is Debo back yet?
He's questionable.
Yeah, he's questionable. But
Garoppolo can sit okay in the pocket there because Khalil Mack has been quiet. He's been a little bit quiet.
He's had 6 sacks, and 2 fumbles from sacks. So,
I like how he defends. But yeah, he couldn't get his Charger chant going. Okay.
Oh well.
All right. No, I'm gonna take San Francisco. We're gonna go ahead and go for San Francisco. Next up, we have Kyle's team, the Washington Commanders, going against the Eagles Fly, Philadelphia Eagles, Monday night. Go for your pick.
I'm going to take Washington.
Do it.
I know a lot of people are probably scoffing at that, but listen, this Commanders defense played a great game against a really high-powered Vikings offense. Like the Vikings were constantly punting, and they really only scored points when they got short fields off of turnovers or good punt returns or what have you. And the way it feels with Taylor Heineke at quarterback is we always have a chance. Like if he can just get the ball, he may not throw for the most yards, he may not throw for a lot of touchdowns, and yeah, he probably has some untimely picks, but the guy just puts it all out there, and it's hard not to believe in a quarterback like that. It's an 11-point spread, by the way. Big spreads in division, underdogs tend to have a good time against that. So if you were going to bet on this, I'd take the Commanders, but I'm going to take the Commanders to win outright.
And I'm going to take Philly because they look very good, and the Commanders they put up a good fight against Minnesota, but they're not better than Philly, man. Philly has better offense. They have a great defense, and I feel like they're not going to be able to do anything against Philly.
What was that spread? You said 9.5?
11.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to take the Eagles, but if I was betting this game, I would probably work that spread because that is huge for a divisional game.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Eagles here. Jalen Hurts has been playing phenomenal this year. I'm going Eagles.
Here's the thing, and I like what Kyle said. It makes you ponder and think, with Heineke being there, and then Curtis Samuel has been playing a little bit better now. Now, who's starting? Is it Gibson or McKissick?
So McKissick's been hurt. Brian Robinson is listed as RB1. When they go under center, he's in there to run the ball, but they're figuring out how to work Gibson in there to get some good receiving work.
And Logan Thomas is still in and out, right?
Gibson's probably more familiar with the blocking packages as well,
right? Yeah,
more so than.
And Robinson hasn't been that effective.
New pickup.
The other thing is these teams that look like they could go undefeated, they always lose to a team.
They should.
That you're like, did they really lose to them? This seems like a good spot.
This is a tricky game, and the thing is that when I'm looking at Philly, I mean, Philly has done exactly what they need to do. I mean, Jalen Hurts has just flourished. He's just gotten better and better. And this is another, front and center kind of game, and they need to start collecting those wins because Dallas is, again, there's going to be a round 2 for Dallas, and trust me, it's not going to be the same. So I'm going to go ahead and take Philly. They're at home, so they're undefeated at home, and undefeated overall. All right, let's go ahead and wrap up to the game of the week. It's brought to you by Sky Trampoline. We have the Minnesota Vikings going against the Buffalo Bills. Who are you taking, Chris?
Man, I love that skull chant, but that only happens at home, Vikings fans. So I am going for the Bills here. Man, I don't know if you guys saw Josh Allen in his post game after that loss. He was PO'd, man. I kind of feel sorry for the Vikings because I think he's going to be lighting some things on fire come Sunday. So I'm going Bills.
This one is questionable for me just because of Josh Allen's injury. It looks like he's going to play through it, and it's not, I think, maybe as big as we're seeing that it's going to be. So I'm going to pick the Bills because I'm going in there thinking Josh Allen's going to be 75%. If he's 75%, they'll win. He's a great quarterback. He's amazing to watch, and their defense they'll lock down Minnesota. I think it's going to be a close game, but give me the Bills on this one.
Bills spreads 3.5. Bills are favorited. It's a sprained UCL, so it's not going to be Tommy John. It's not the baseball injury. It's the ligament, but it's not as severe as people might have thought it was. I think Josh Allen's going to be out for blood, and the Bills' defense is better than the Commanders' defense, and the Vikings struggled. I mean, Justin Jefferson's going to get his, but they need Dalvin Cook to get it going to have a chance, but I'm going to take Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Buffalo here. Even if Josh Allen doesn't play for some reason, I still feel like they can get that offense going. Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, and then their running back core. I feel like they can get that game moving with Case Keenum playing if he does. But, yeah, I'm going Bills.
Now, we know it's not a primetime game, so that's a check. Second of all, Minnesota finds ways to win.
They find
ways. So I got to give them that. But here's the thing that's scary. When you're at Buffalo, and Buffalo lost. So far, they're 0-2 in the division, but yet they're doing great, not out of conference. So I think Minnesota's up, and the thing is that the Bills are going to need, if they're going to continue to try to stay on top of that number 1 seed in the AFC, they got to start collecting. They got to start collecting the win. So I'm going to go ahead and take Buffalo on this game. All right, so that concludes Week 10. And right now, if I'm not mistaken, Drisson, you are up 7 games. The tally mark for the prize here, and I am in second place, I believe. How many wins do you have?
I have no idea. Not enough, I bet.
Oh,
Not
gosh.
enough. Too low to count.
Oh, ouch. Okay, wow. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and move on over before some shots get fired around here. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick pause and take our following sponsors.
By One Drop Game Drop, located at 2724 North Amadon. It's your hot spot for card games, flesh and blood games, and there is plenty space for game gatherings.
All right, we are now in the DDK Fantasy Football lineup. Travis, who do you need to put in?
A.J. Brown, you need to start A.J. Brown. Last 2 weeks, he's been phenomenal, having multiple touchdowns, and then Sid Devin Singletary. I just don't feel like he'll be the main impact for that offense. I feel like Naeem Hines going to have a way bigger role with them this week.
Start Brandon Ayuk if you've got him. I mean, I know Debo's questionable, but he had a really good game against the Rams, and he tends to turn it on the later they get into the season. So start Ayuk, sit Cortland Sutton. I think Jerry Jeudy's emerging as the guy that Russell wants to go to outside the boundaries. So start Ayuk, sit Sutton.
For me, you want to start Greg Dulcich. Is that how you say his name? The tight end for Broncos. I feel like he's one of the reasons you want to sit Sutton. He's past 3 weeks, he's put up double digits fantasy points. He's really looking good for a rookie, man, and he's picking up for you guys. And for sit, you want to sit Raheem Mostert simply because last week when they introduced Jeff Wilson to the lineup, they split the carries, and the only reason Mostert got double-digit points was that one touchdown. Other than that, it looks like Jeff Wilson's going to be getting a lot of work, and that's going to hinder Mostert, so sit him.
I'm going to go with starting Chris Olave out of the Saints. He's really the only receiver that's hooking up on a regular basis that Dalton's hooking up with. The Pittsburgh is the worst defense in fantasy against receivers. They're giving up the most receivers points. So I think that he's going to have a pretty decent day. Sit-wise, I'm not sure about that. I'm kind of leaning towards some of your Dallas receivers. They're going to get some points, but I have a feeling they're going to be up and doing a lot more running and keeping the ball away from Rodgers in any comeback. So someone like Green Bay, and Green Bay does actually have a pretty good defense when it comes to shutting to fantasy points against receivers.
I would start Christian McCaffrey. This would be a great opportunity for him to pick up the line, because right now the Chargers are struggling to be able to stop the run. And to sit, believe it or not, if you have either Trevor, I got kind of a two here, Trevor Lawrence or Pickens, I would sit him because, Trevor Lawrence is going to a hostile place in Kansas City, and there they capitalize on mistakes. And the thing is, if he starts getting nervous and he does something that's not right, they're going to just eat him alive there. And with Pickens, he just sucks over there in Pittsburgh right now. I hope he's trying to learn the system. Maybe he might get better next year. Who knows? All right, let's go ahead and move on over to Driz and Lowe's Players of the Week. Who do you nominate, Kyle?
Offensively, Justin Fields. He had a great game. Rushed for over 100 yards, threw for over 100, had 4 total touchdowns. And then defensively, the rookie defensive back Kirby Joseph for the Lions, who had 2 picks on Aaron Rodgers. Those are my nominations.
I got Joe Mixon this week for offense. 200 yards, 5 touchdowns. I feel like that was a solid candidate, just like Justin Fields. For defense, I have Aiden Hutchinson having an amazing interception for being an edge rusher as a rookie. I mean, I feel like that's an awesome interception to get.
Oh, yeah, Joe Mixon, man. He had the game of a lifetime, bro, with 5 touchdowns, 200 yards. He looked crazy. So definitely Joe Mixon offensively. Defensively, I'll piggyback off Kyle. Kirby Joseph, he looked good this week.
I got to go with my man, Joe Mixon in Cincy. Yeah, he did it, and that was in 3 quarters. He he didn't play the 4th quarter, so that's why they were able to get a little bit back in that game. So definitely Joe Mixon on that. And for the defense, I'm going Justin Houston. 2.5 sacks and an interception on Monday night. So I liked what he did there for the Ravens, and he's really come back with a force in the games since he's been playing again.
Joe Mixon, that's just crazy. I mean, that guy just literally, it goes to show he's an elite running back. And also, I'm going to piggyback on you, Travis, and you, Driston, on the defense of Detroit. That was just awesome, especially when Aaron had that whole line shook. They were all shifting to the right, and then he was not fooled. And that goes to show who's watching tape. That guy, he's watching tape. So congratulations. So we all agree on our players of the week. It's going to be Joe Mixon, and our defensive player is.
Well, I picked Kirby Joseph. He picked Aiden Hutchinson. Which are both Lions.
And
players.
I picked Justin Houston.
Are we just going to go with defense of the Lions?
Yeah, can we just say the Lions defense?
I'd be okay with Lions defense.
Okay, we can do that. That will work because I don't know all you guys. Sorry. This is it, you guys. Our favorite show. It's
Who's Hot
and
Who's Not.
You guys sound more excited on the not. All right. Well, let's go ahead. Let's break it down here. I'm going to start this off with you, Travis. Who's hot?
I'm going to go with the Seahawks. Taking away the division, running away with it. I feel like they're a solid candidate for who's hot.
Baltimore's starting to heat up. 3 straight wins now, and they looked real dominant against the Saints. Watch out. Don't let them get hot like that.
I'm going with the Jets. They got that big win against Buffalo, and now they're sitting second in a very tough division. Miami, Buffalo, and the Jets, they all have 6 wins, and Patriots are only 1 game back. So that's a tough division, and they're second in it right now. They look great.
I'm going with, like Travis said, the Seahawks. I like the Seahawks. They're playing really well.
I'm going to go ahead and take the Seahawks as well. I think what we all expected them to just be in the bottom, struggling, and they're just turning it around. And Pete Carroll perhaps might have a reason why he wanted Russell Wilson gone. So now let's go ahead and move on over to the who's not. I'm going to go ahead and start it off with you.
I'm going to go with the Packers. Little Rodgers sad face. It just cracks me up. Yeah, they just look bad, and his receivers. I mean, it seems like he's not even talking to him like what to do. He's just like, "You did it wrong. Now do it right." And they're like, "What? What did I do wrong? What do I do right?" And so, yeah, they are bad. Packers are not.
I think I picked them last week. I'm picking the Raiders again. They blew another 17-point lead. They blew another lead, a gigantic lead again, against a team that's not even in the top of the league. Like, how do you expect them to compete with any team? You know, they just haven't been looking good defensively, and Raiders, man.
The Jaguars are not hot. I think there was a lot of promise at the beginning of the year for them. It's their deficiencies are showing, and they don't have the strength to overcome those deficiencies.
I got 2. I got the Raiders and the Colts. Colts, I mean, they're firing the whole coaching staff. You don't really know what's going to happen next week with them on coaches-wise. And then the Raiders, I mean, they're just blowing all these leads. I mean,
breaking news, we just got word that the water boy for the Colts got fired. So this is bad. This is right now the HR they're scrambling for people. So hope he gets a gig somewhere else. All right, I'm going to take the Super Bowl champions, the Rams. The Rams is not living up to right now. I don't think they're just not doing well. I mean, all those pieces from that Super Bowl team's leaving, and they're just not looking the same. So I'm going to take the Rams on this. So now the moment of truth, since there's quite a bit of shows here, we got the truth is that you guys all have valid points. And how do you pinpoint to just one? So, on that one, I just want to say I agree with your guys' picks. That's just because they're all going through a crap fire, pretty much. So, all right, well, that concludes Week 10. You guys, any shout-outs before we go?
You and Eric, thank you guys for having me on.
You, Eric, everyone who works on the show, it's a great time to be here.
Yeah, shout out to you, Carlos. Thank you for having me on the show. I really love talking football with all you guys.
Yeah, shout out to all the guys listening out there in the audience that are following on. I post some pics on the comments. I want to see how you guys are doing against ours.
Yeah, shout out to the staff behind. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Powell. Thank you, Dalen and his wife and staff for making it happen. I appreciate that we're able to kind of take it to new levels. We've been able to get on TikTok. I mean, it's just amazing with just how much viewers we're getting. So, of course, visit us on YouTube, or if you're out on the road or you're working out, we've got Spotify. We're on iTunes. So hear us out and let us know. Engage with us. Tell us who's your favorite team. We want to know about you. We're home based, so especially people all the way from the West Coast. My good friend Marie, and then over there Brandon over there in Vegas, and then we've got Gabby in Denver, and also going all the way through to the endless audience. Even though if I don't know you guys, I just want to say thank you guys for listening. So, all right, we'll tune in, and we'll get back to you guys on week 11. We're out.